Oh, hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or your rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, we've got a Queen of Cups. This is about the emotional depth. This is a card of emotional honesty, of transparency, of being kind of aware of what is really going on inside of you. Okay, I think there's something deep down in you that you care about immensely, and it's trying to come to the surface. Okay, there's something that you have, I almost feel like you've discovered something, right, that really, like, you can't ignore it. And I don't know if it's a family thing, a work thing, if it's something just in the world, or if it's something in you, in your own history. There's something that you've realized. It's something maybe from the unconscious even, that is undeniable for you. Okay? I think there's also an older female energy in your life that is in some way significant to what's going on with you at this time in your life. Okay, I feel that there's a lot of depth here. And for some reason, I'm kind of hearing the phrase, you're out of your depth. I don't know what you're doing, but it sounds very serious. Okay? It sounds like we really have to become good swimmers right now. Okay? There's no other way to do it. Right? We can't get out of the pool. We can't wait for somebody to come save us. We've got to just suddenly be good at this. All right. Let's put this into some context. I don't know what exactly is going on. We'll get some more energy here. 2 of Wands. Yes. Okay. 5 of Wands. All right. An Ace of Swords. Yeah. The Lover's card. The Universe. Empress. A Prince of Swords. A Prince of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands. Interesting with the 8 of Wands. There is, we've got 1, 2, 3 court cards. So I feel that there is definitely other people here involved with you. That there is something going on that involves your relationship or interaction, or involves other people in some direct way. Okay? We also have that older female energy and what seem like brothers or siblings anyway. It doesn't have to be gender specific. But we're getting a kind of older, more maternal energy, and then 2 people that are, 2 people that seem like they are, they seem like siblings. They seem like they're partners in some way, trying to get something accomplished together. And it's kind of like one is the brains, one is the muscles, you know. But let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're just going to set it down right here. Put Tiny Bob Ross right on top. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end, okay? But it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the very end. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it down in the comments. Let's practice our intuition. All right. Spirit's telling me that you sent a message or something. You reached out to somebody, but they never responded. Send it again, because you typed something wrong, the email address, or you wrote the address wrong. It didn't get there. Okay? So send it again, whatever it is. Okay, and I don't know if it has anything to do with this. Let's look at our energies. We've got major, major, major. Okay, nice kind of diagonal line of major arcana, the Lover's card, the Universe card, and the Empress. The Empress, I wonder if the Empress is you. I wonder if this queen, this older, what we're calling the older maternal energy is you. And I wonder if these are either to employees or to maybe to kids, or maybe these are younger siblings, something like that. It feels like they are sort of working together. Okay, and it feels like in some way that you are responsible for them. Now, none of this is gender specific. But it feels as if you are kind of, you're the one in charge of these other two, or I don't know, you're in a kind of like a higher position, it feels like, than them. But it feels like they're sort of conspiring together, okay? It feels like one's the brains, one's the muscle, yeah. The Universe card in the future position, I think, is talking about the conclusion of this issue. But I feel that there's a delay. I feel like it's something is kind of, it's going to take a long time. And I don't know what exactly is going on. I do know that it's something that you care deeply about, and you're not going to give it up. You're not going to let it go. Okay, there's some issue here that you're not going to let it go. We've got our fire energy. We've got our water energy. We've got, normal amount of air. And we've got a little bit of earth. So it's fairly balanced anyway, at least as far as the energies go. I feel like it feels to you anyway that there's some sort of interference with your communication, right? Because again, you reached out to somebody and they never responded, and it's because you miswrote or typed the address wrong or something. But I think that sort of thing happens a lot. I think it feels like there's just some sort of interference in communication. Maybe it's like, the computer doesn't work right, the phone's always kind of screwing up. Maybe even like the lights in the house seem like they're just kind of going a little haywire. It almost feels like we're in a retrograde, which we might be. I don't know for sure, actually. But it feels like there's some sort of, like the wires are getting crossed, things are just not. It's almost like there's an intentional interference with what you're trying to do or what you're trying to communicate or express right now, okay? Especially with this Two of Wands right here in the middle, it feels as if there is something that you're fighting against and you're being sort of blocked, right? Whatever you have found in your life, and I don't know if this is something in the past, we see the Ace of Swords behind you. Whatever you've discovered, whatever you have learned, whatever you have found in the depths, there's some force that's sort of telling you, stop, let it go, don't pursue it. Okay? But for you, this just makes you want to do it more. This just leads you to kind of, it validates it for you. Okay? Makes you want to fight further. Okay? And you're somebody that usually relies very, very much on other people. You cooperate. You're a team player, Five of Wands underneath the surface. The team isn't getting along. It's kind of like there's just been this discord, this confusing, fighting, chaotic energy that's just been brought into everything lately, and it's just like nothing is. Everywhere you turn, something is just kind of malfunctioning or breaking down, or there's conflict, or there's disorder or chaos, right? Even in the sort of team effort that you're used to, there's now the Five of Wands. There's now this kind of fighting competition between everybody, And so this, I think, is your realization that in this situation, you really can't rely on anybody else. This is something that I think you're kind of saying, well, if I want it done right, I've got to do it myself, It's underneath the surface. Let me just start my timer here. It's something underneath the surface. And this is this is kind of the feeling like if there is this blockage here, if something is kind of telling you to stop doing it, if it feels almost as if the universe is kind of putting up these roadblocks for you intentionally, right? Like the messages don't go through, the phone stops working, the lights are flickering, the computer's acting up, and, the people that usually are getting along are just kind of, everybody's fighting. And it's like is something kind of telling you to stop pursuing this thing? It makes you kind of want to just say, well, I'm going to just have to work harder. I'm going to have to turn up the heat. I'm onto something here, right? And that's what we see with the Ace of Swords. It feels like you're onto something. It feels like you've discovered some sort of truth. And I don't know if it has to do with the world or the universe at large, or if it's something that's kind of local to you. But the Ace of Swords is the feeling that you're correct about something, okay? This is your belief in an issue, a situation, something that you've discovered. It's like you've found the truth, and now it feels like something or someone doesn't want that truth to get out, okay? And yeah, to me, it's very like cloak and dagger kind of thing. But it could be something just kind of involving your family. It could be something involving like your friends, or it could be a situation at work. But you've found something, and has a little bit, I don't even know if I can say the word on YouTube, but has a little bit of like a whistleblower kind of energy to it. And so I feel like you don't know who you can trust with this information. Okay, maybe you found some kind of problem with a product at work. Maybe you discovered somebody was stealing, or something like this. Maybe you know that one of your friends is cheating on their spouse, or like a family member is involved in some shady stuff, or something like this, right? And I do feel like it's something involving your immediate surroundings. It's not like you discovered something that's going on, on the other side of the world. It's kind of like it's happening right here around you, and like in your hometown, And it's something that you kind of, you feel like there's a reason why you've discovered this. There's a reason why you found this out. What do you do with it? What's the right move here? Feels like there are a lot of signs that are kind of telling you, don't pursue it. Don't try to do anything. Don't go forward with it, right? But that kind of tells you, well, if everybody's kind of against it, then I must have something here. There must be really something to this. Yeah. The Lover's card up at the top here, I think, is really you're trying to get this information into the right hands. There's also a family indication with this. And really, it just feels like maybe this is something to do with infidelity. Maybe this is something to do with, well, we've got these other two over here. These could be partners. They could be business partners. These could be associates. Could be two family members. They could be in a relationship. These two could be married. It's almost like you've uncovered a plot or a scheme involving two other people, and you're trying to really, I think, make a choice about what to do with it. And maybe this is one of those kind of ethical choices, that, let's say your best friend, you care about her more than anything else. You find out that she's having an affair, that she's cheating on her boyfriend or husband or her romantic partner, right? What do you do? You have a loyalty to your friend. Let's say you don't even know their partner, right? What do? Do you tell the partner? No. Do you talk to her and say, hey, what are you doing? Do you ignore it? Like, do you tell somebody else? What do you do with that information? And I don't know that we're talking about infidelity here, but we could be. Okay. You don't want to run around accusing everybody. But you feel some sort of way about this. You feel like you've got to do something with this. That it's not something that you can just sort of bury, right? I don't think it's infidelity. I think it's something maybe even a little bit more serious than that. Okay. But I think it involves an ethical choice for you. Do you ignore it, pretend you didn't see it? Or, who do you present it to? Who do you tell? Yeah. I don't know the answer to that question. I feel like whatever you do with this information is going to change your life. It's going to change the world. It's going to change the circumstances of your life. Bare minimum, things are going to be different with this. Whatever you do with it, if you bury it, you're going to be changed. It's going to be something that sticks with you for a long time. Whoever you tell, it's going to cause a chain reaction. There's going to be a chain of events that happen. Okay. But I sense there's this feeling of kind of obligation here for you. You feel like you have to do something. Okay. And even if you know that by you doing something, you're going to kind of invoke more of this Five of Wands, that it feels like it's sort of going to make things worse. That it's going to make everybody kind of angry. It's going to upset the kind of the flow of things, right? Anytime we have a 5, we start looking for the 4. I think, well, I like things to be stable and steady. I don't like there to be a lot of chaos in life. But you know that if you sit on this, you're going to feel upset about it. And if you share it with whoever, then you're going to upset the people that it involves, right? Or you're going to upset the kind of the natural flow of things as they are now. So it kind of it puts you in a position where you kind of have to decide what to do, We're going to talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. It really helps out the channel, and I really do appreciate that. Let's talk about this Empress energy. It kind of feels, as your general energy, it feels like you sort of have a responsibility for these people. But do you in actuality? Are they adults? Is everybody here an adult, You don't really have a duty or an obligation toward anybody. Okay. But, just because maybe legally we don't, right? But sometimes we still feel that we do. And even I imagine even with my daughter, she's 4 now, but when she's 40, I'll still feel an obligation toward her. I'll still feel a duty to protect her and to, if I discovered something that I would have to tell her, look out for her best interest. And, she's an adult by that point, but it's kind of, we can't help but feel a responsibility towards other people in our lives. Even towards the whole world. I feel like you're somebody that really doesn't want to see anybody suffer. And you want to do the right thing, even if it's a difficult thing to do. But the idea of doing the right thing is not really alleviating any suffering. It's kind of causing more. Right? We're leaving things alone. At least there's the illusion of nobody suffering, right? So it's a very weird situation for you. I feel like you feel a sense of duty with it. Yeah. But it's kind of a pickle because you don't want anybody to suffer. You don't want anybody to hurt. And sometimes this truth, this kind of thing, is going to cause some sort of upset. Yeah. And I feel like you have the very best of intentions with people. You want people to be happy. You want people to succeed. But if you do not, like you've discovered this. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know. However you discovered it, I don't want to know. But you have, and you have the info. You can't forget it. You can't unlearn it. So you're causing yourself more suffering by holding on to this because it's something that I feel like is going to kind of eat at you. So what do? We look at the position of the environment. We've got the fixed air energy. And I think this is something that if you reveal it, it's going to shatter somebody else's belief. Like this could be someone who they have this strong belief that their life is going a certain way and things are good and everything's fine. You bring this new information and it's going to kind of, in a way, shatter this, cause some cognitive dissonance here. It's going to shatter what they believe. It's going to shatter what they believe about the world or about their life. Okay? You're sort of like It almost feels like you're raining on somebody's parade, but it's kind of like you're just showing them, hey, it's raining out. You may not believe it is, but it is. Okay? And so this is difficult. But this is that person in the environment. And again, I can't help but getting the feeling of there's the brains and the brawn, right? There's a partner here of, and I don't know if there are two people. Now I know we interpret the court cards in a weird way in the tarot, right? Because they can represent many different things at the same time. All together, the three of them tells me that there's a group of people here. Okay. Individually, I think they represent aspects of you. And also individually, they kind of represent especially the Prince of Swords in the position of the environment, because it represents your relationship with somebody. And it might be really a truth about yourself that's going to change your relationship with this person. It's something that this person, you and this person, are going to be fighting over it now. By telling them the truth, they're going to be mad at you. In other words, right? And the difficulty might be with the Prince of Pentacles trying to rebuild the life after this kind of devastating news, this life-changing news, right? This is the Prince of Pentacles. This is the builder, but this is the obstacle. This is the difficulty. This is the fear, the worry, and the concern is rebuilding. When our worldview is shattered and then we have to rebuild, the universe card in the future, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time to recover. I feel like revealing this information is probably going to end this friendship for you. And it may take a long, long time before it can be restored and rebuilt, and if it ever is. Okay? But what do you do? What is the solution there? Let's do a Language of Flowers affirmation card. Maybe we need a little advice. Breathe, calm, rest, stop, and just be. Okay? Take a breath. Take care of yourself. Don't do anything yet. Right? Don't do anything yet. Allow this to kind of sink in. Sit with it for a little while. I'm going to pull one random Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Excitement. Great. Mercury in Gemini. The Mercury in Gemini says excitement. I feel like this is kind of like that conversation happening. And once it happens, you're not going to be able to shut yourself up. Once you start talking, it's just going to keep coming out. Okay? So don't open that can of worms until you're ready, because it's going to be a battle. Okay? It's going to be a battle. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know. Don't tell me in the comments what exactly this is. I don't want to be implicated in anything that's going on. But I feel that like once you open that can of worms, and maybe that's the email that you sent too, right? I don't know. But I feel like once you open the can of worms, it's changing everything. And I feel that it is, it's like one push of a button and this information goes out to everybody that really needs to hear it, you know? And then there's no taking it back. You can't unsend the message after that. Once you start talking, it all has to come out. Okay? And I don't know, maybe this is even something that you sort of are involved in, that you sort of did, and now it's kind of causing you some turmoil, and you have to tell the other person. Okay? Maybe it's an air sign person in your life, but I feel like you're going to tell them once you're ready, because you're really opening up a can of worms here. Okay, really, truly. Now let's do an empowerment oracle card, and we'll look at the mystery card. I kind of disliked having readings come through like this, messages coming through like this, because I don't want to be. I don't want you to shoot the messenger. I don't want anybody to shoot the messenger. I don't want to be implicated in this situation because and then it kind of seems like I know about something, but I don't. I'm merely the messenger, okay? We're going to do an empowerment oracle card. The light of forgiveness. I forgive myself and others. In forgiving, I free myself. I bounce back from negative emotions and I do not linger in dark places. My life is a light that chases away shadows. The light of forgiveness. Maybe you've discovered something that somebody else did to you, makes you mad. And you're kind of wondering if you should tell them that you know. Hey, I know what you did. But maybe you're kind of not wanting to do that because you know it's going to turn into a fight. Right? Maybe the light of forgiveness is an important thing to consider. Let's look at the mystery card. Rearrange some of these. We've got too many cards on the table today. I want to see a Six of Cups, honestly, right? That there's love, that there's just like it's not a fight, that it's a hug. You know? Instead of a conflict, it's a hug. That's what I want to see. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's take a look. Judgment. Oh dear. It is a life-changing decision that you're sitting on right now. Okay? And it's kind of, in a way, it's sort of opening up somebody's eyes to something. Right? And I feel like this is kind of like, it almost feels like a whistle blowing, you know, because this is spirit sort of blowing the trumpet right in your face, saying, it's time for you to go through this doorway and make a decision about this thing, knowing that on the other side of this doorway, things are very different than they are now. It's not an easy doorway to go through. It's a fire. This is the Eon card, fire doorway, right? But it is an awakening. And it's kind of like you're either coming to a very profound realization or you are eliciting that very profound realization for somebody else. Life is going to be very, very different. It's not easy to go through this doorway. But I feel as if you feel compelled to do it, that you know you have to. You're just trying to prepare yourself because it's going to be a hell of a ride, you know. And we're going to do an extended reading, see if we can get a little bit more reassurance here. If you want to stick around for that, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Cancer every Tuesday and Friday. Be sure to watch both readings, okay? If you have not subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.